Today we have a Super Nintendo with no power, and when he tried to turn it on, the magic smoke got out. I can't plug it in right now, so I'll show you. The barrel connector here is damaged. There's a little sheath that goes over those pins in the center. First, we're going to have to replace this. We're going to tear it down. I'll show you the tools I use and how we troubleshoot. So I have my solder here, Kester, leaded, no clean. Key being no clean and leaded. Flux, Superwick by MG Chemicals, one of my favorites. Tweezers. And to tear it down, I have my game bit driver, and the replacement part is old school port replacement. This is actually, you'll see here, this is the whole I/O shield, in fact. Alright, now I'm going to take my Phillips and we're going to start by removing the switch. Found what was rattling around, the ejector spring. Now we're going to gently remove this ribbon connector for the controllers. Gently pulling it out. Might be a little hard to see. I'll see if I can adjust it for you. With all the visible screws removed, we're going to remove the shield here. And this module here is going to have to come out. Just gently lift up. See, we have one screw here. Now, board will lift right out. Okay, let's remove the bottom shield. Okay, with the board removed, we have another screw here, holding in the panel. Okay, and we're going to cut a few strips of solder braid. Never use it directly off the roll. Okay, we are ready to get this out. Which might be a little tricky because it's under this shield here. See the tab? So we're going to have to work it out a little bit. Here's the old one. And here's the new one. Okay. Not bad. Looks great. So, let's work this in. See, I got one of these pins bent. I'm also making sure that this is perfectly flat. I'm going to clean it up here. I got some isopropyl alcohol. Clean up all the spent flux. I'm out of Q-tips, so I'm just using a paper towel today. Okay, we got it all cleaned up. We are going to be doing a test here in a second, but I did want to point out, notice that I did not use low melt solder. I don't recommend anybody use low melt solder for replacing a barrel jack connector. Just something to keep in mind. You got to be careful with these ribbon connectors. You'll end up peeling off some of the contacts if you're not careful. Okay, we are ready for a power check. We got the switch in. We're just going to see if we can get power first. So you'll see here the new port is in, the new DC barrel connector. Plug this in. It's a little snug. Okay, we're back. Minor issue we had going on here. This replacement piece was not allowing the connector to fully seat. And to find out that this center pin here was actually not aligned properly inside of here. So instead of having one prong on each side, there was one going right through the center. So I'm going to show you how I fixed it in case you come across that problem. Now, I could have just gotten a replacement. I decided I was going to fix it myself. So I removed the prongs. And what you have to do is you're going to fully seat the connector while it's unplugged. Don't have this plugged in. In fact, really, if it were me, if I'm giving you advice here, I would tell you just get another one. If it comes like that, just have it replaced. Anyway. And then you seat this. There we go. There it is. Okay, back to the schedule. First, we'll check I'll show you that the power supply is in fact working. There we go, we're getting 14 volts roughly. Now that's normal, this is an unregulated power supply. It's the job of the 7805 to drop it down to usable voltage for the Super Nintendo. I have this closed up enough to test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in. Okay, and see if we get a light. Nothing. Okay. First thing I'm going to check is the fuse. There's continuity, so the fuse is good. Next thing we're going to check is our 7805 regulator. Let's turn this on. We have ground here in the center. We have input. What is that? Millivolts, 16 millivolts. Okay, that's not right. Let's output is 0. Well, it's not getting anything anyway. So let's check that again. Got it on. Plugged in. 16 millivolts. Okay, I'm gonna have to tear this down a little further so I can get inside here of this power circuit. Let's get this off and away. And I think I see the issue here. Let's zoom in. Right there. D1 seems to have blown. Okay, for demonstration purposes here, I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to show you the voltage on each leg here, the anode and the cathode of the diode. So I'm going to find a ground point here. Whoops. Find a ground point. And here on the input, we have 14 volts. And nothing on the output. Input again is the output. So the diode's bad. Now it was easy for me to see that, but in case your console it's not blown apart like that, you know how to test it. You see we have the diode that we just removed here. In addition, I have two others here, two other components. These are both 5819 diodes. And we're going to be installing this little one here, the SOD-323 package type. I'll include a link in the description. And these are getting a little hard to find, so in the interest of future proofing, I'm going to show you that you can use these little ones here and replace it. There is a little black indicator strip. That's the cathode, and we want that on the center pad. So let's get a little bit of solder. Here's the replacement diode. I actually had a spare board that I forgot that I had. So we're going to be soldering this in, but I will still be including a link in the description so you can get a comparable replacement for yourself. We're going to pre-tin one of these pads. And excuse me, just because this, let me clean my tip here. The angle is less than optimal. Might be a little difficult, but this way you can see what's going on. And here we are again, back together enough just to test for power. So I'm going to plug it in. Let's get this where you can see. And here we go. Got power again. Before I put this back together, I'm probably going to have to do a little bit more testing. Some of you who are more familiar with the Super Nintendos here will notice this CPU revision A, which is the most prone to failure. It wasn't playing games, it was given a black screen. Replacing the CPU is going to be outside the scope of the video. For purposes of restoring power, you have maybe a few extra ideas to try. Might be one of those aha moments, you know, watching the video and you see testing the diode, testing the voltage regulator. Not exhaustive by any means, but hopefully this helps you out. Take care.